Welcome to Effective Test Readiness with an emphasis on knowing the content. In the next few minutes, we're going to take a closer look at teaching test readiness, specifically at the importance of content knowledge for test-taking success. Kaplan has an unparalleled reputation for driving student achievement on tests, and our decades of experience have yielded the same conclusions as contemporary education research, that three things are critical drivers of student success on tests. Students need to know the content, they need to know the test, and they need to know the test-taking strategies required by a given test. No one of these three things stands alone. All are critical for students to maximize their potential on standardized tests. In this session, we'll be looking at the foundational element of test success, content. As all teachers know, students can't perform well on a test if they don't actually know the content on which they're being tested. Students aren't going to do well on an algebra test if they don't know how to do algebra. A common mistake teachers often make is using test readiness lessons to reteach content. Test readiness lessons should instead draw on content that students already know. More than that, though, the most effective test readiness lessons reinforce content skills, core thinking skills, and 21st century skills. Look at this example. It's a straightforward example of a review lesson on exponents. Though we know that multiple representations help ensure that students understand math content, the chart isn't the star of this lesson. It's the question at the end. Is Don right? How do you know? The ability to explain mathematical reasoning is becoming increasingly prevalent in curricula and tests, and it's emphasized in the Common Core state standards as well. Test readiness lessons that focus on the rote mechanics of the test, multiple choice math questions to the exclusion of all else, miss an opportunity to emphasize vital content area skills. This example doesn't make that error. Let's look at another example. Here, you see some sample text for teaching students to write a constructed response essay. While the ability to use a compare-contrast chart as explained here will definitely help students write a better essay on the test, this skill should help students write a better comparison-contrast essay every time they need to do it. This is an example of an effective test readiness lesson because it reinforces skills students need for academic success in a given subject, not merely on a given test. It's maximizing students' content-specific skills. The next thing effective test readiness does is put a priority on core thinking skills. By this we mean the skills that are at the core of learning. In the Common Core state standards, they're called anchor standards because they are the anchor for the rest of students' learning. Effective test readiness lessons recognize that some of these core skills are absolutely essential to student success on the test. Kaplan has been emphasizing these skills for decades. This slide exemplifies the core thinking skill of differentiating important from unimportant information. No matter how sound the student's content knowledge of basic algebraic equations, for example, he or she must be able to use the skill of differentiating important from unimportant knowledge in order to apply their algebraic skills effectively. This is a core thinking skill in action. It's just one example of how a teacher can take the test readiness skill of underlining keywords and really use it to teach students something far more lasting and necessary to coping with the barrage of information they face daily. Let's look at another example. We sometimes put unnecessary constraints on our test readiness lessons at the expense of core thinking skills. Lessons need not focus exclusively on multiple choice questions. In this example, students are required to apply knowledge from one arena, editing text in an English class, to a different arena that uses a variety of genres. It demands multi-step, high-level thinking from students. The final thing that maximally effective test readiness lessons must do is reinforce 21st century skills. This group of skills, including information and technology skills, life and career skills, and innovation skills, is considered essential to successful functioning in the workplace and beyond. These skills are well represented in the Common Core state standards as well. In this specific example, students need to utilize a variety of skills, including teamwork, the ability to look at a task from more than one perspective, and problem-solving skills. After all, they're trying to find the solution to the question, how do we accurately check for understanding? This internalization of the test writing process will lead to better results in test taking. Let's look at one more example of 21st century skills in a test readiness lesson. This test readiness group activity, much like the last one, isn't constrained to a set of multiple choice questions. It expands on test structure knowledge that is critical to test success and adds elements of teamwork, media literacy, and communication to create a more demanding learning experience. The Common Core state standards refer throughout to print and online media as a critical component of literacy education. Extension activities such as the one on this slide call out both test readiness skills, critical thinking skills, and media awareness skills. Simply having students do practice tests doesn't maximize the learning opportunity that all class time provides. Teachers have to maximize their precious minutes to squeeze out every last learning opportunity. The best test readiness does not teach to the test, but to the comprehensive learning needs of students.